I just got off the phone with another professional in executive wasteland, and I feel like I need to share with you what I shared with them. So, if you're an executive or you know an executive who's been looking for work 6 months, 9 months, or longer in what is one of the worst white collar job recessions we've ever seen, this one is especially for you or them. So, please bookmark it if you don't have more than 30 seconds or pass it along. So, the executive wasteland is this place that a lot of executives kind of wake up one day in very unexpectedly. And it comes from the fact that you climb the corporate ladder and maybe you lose your job one day, maybe there's a restructuring, and you think you're just going to go out and look for work like you have in the past and that the jobs are just going to pour in, and it's a ghost town. All of a sudden, you can't get anybody to call you back. And it starts to freak you out. And time ticks on, and you're like, what's going on? Like, why am I not getting calls? Like, what's not right? And you mess with your resume and your LinkedIn profile, and you're still not getting any results. You tap into your network, that dries up, and it gets pretty scary. And it's happening to an incredible amount of people right now. And so the first thing that you need to understand is that there's a tipping point in your career as an executive. As you climb and you're one of those people that is like a bigger level problem solver, the strategic thinker, the thought leaders, those sorts of things, that you climb your career and you kind of make your reputation while you're still in the trenches of somebody that's capable of doing that. And then eventually you land that coveted job where you are the person until you lose it. Now you want another one of those. Well, you know what that's like? That's like being a coach in a major league of a sport. There's one coach, but there's tons of players. You were a player, then you became a coach. Now you are fighting for the most coveted of positions, and there's always somebody younger nipping at your heels. And that is what's going to be the duration of your career. So, to get out of executive wasteland, you need to first understand that mindset. Secondly, you need to understand that what you've been doing to get jobs up until now will no longer work. That's not how somebody of your level gets a job today. It is based on reputation. And unfortunately, what I see a lot of people that are sitting out in executive wasteland coming to grips with, I guess, is the fact that they were so busy working on their jobs, in their jobs, that they weren't really working on the career and the career strategy and the reputation beyond their immediate workers. So you go and you suddenly lose your job as an executive, your network is your net worth. And if you haven't been actively building a brand out there so that total strangers or other people that haven't directly worked with you understand the problems you solve and the pain you alleviate, you're not getting a job anytime soon. Now, the good news is you can correct that because if you understand brand or be branded, right? If you choose not to brand yourself, and this is what I hear other executives say, I don't want to look like a narcissist. I don't want to look pathetic. I don't want to look desperate. Okay, I'm not saying you should do any of those things, but lacking branding still sends a message, brand or be branded. It says you're not tech savvy. It says there's nothing special about you, or even worse, maybe you got something to hide. Maybe you did something wrong. Maybe there's a reason why you're unemployed. And I hate to paint that picture for you, but I deal with executive recruiters and headhunters and C-suites all the time. And when they're looking for that A player coach, they want to know that you have a reputation, you have the proof, you have the evidence that you can do this job. And that doesn't come by applying online. Let me point that out to you. First of all, the chances of getting a job applying on right now is about 0.3%. 99.7% of the applicants are not getting through. And that's because that's a commodity play. You know what commodities are? It means supply and demand. When there's a lot of people, they're going to take the least expensive. You want to play a commodity game? No, you're a value based player. You want to get paid on your worth. So every time you go and play with everybody else, you're a commodity. You're cheapening your brand. When you understand brand strategy, when you understand how to build a brand that showcases the problems you solve and the pain you alleviate and how you save or make companies money, now you are documenting, providing the evidence, and building the reputation that you're an A player coach. This is how you get recruiters coming to you because let me be clear, in a market like this one, they're not posting the coveted jobs. The jobs you want, they're not getting publicly posted. They're being given to people who get interviews through back channeling and building their reputation so that they're coming to them. And this is the fundamental shift that is going to have to happen in your career to get out of executive wasteland, to get back in the executive game, and quite frankly, to stay in the executive game until you choose to retire. If you made it this far and it makes sense, I am going to be hosting an event in March, an exclusive mastermind, limited number of seats, in person, where I am going to teach you over 2 days back to back exactly what you need to be doing to brand yourself in a way that's going to get you the results you want and not make you feel silly, stupid, whatever explanation or excuse you've used to date to not brand yourself. I'm going to show you how to do it right. And I've done this with hundreds of executives over the last 2 years in secret. It's been highly successful. I've watched people get massive pay bumps, come out of 1 to 2 year unemployment to 2 level jumps in title, like story after story of executives who have understood and embraced what I teach and are now taking full control of their career. And you can too. I promise you, you can too. If you'd like to learn more about my 2 day session, I've got a link in my bio up here, or you'll find it down here, or feel free just to DM me on LinkedIn. Tell me your situation and I can tell you more about it, okay? But the one thing I want to remind you all is you can get out of the executive wasteland, but it's going to require you to learn some new things and totally approach this differently. The upside is once you learn it, you'll have the skill for the rest of your professional career, and it will enable you to stay at the top of the game and out of the executive wasteland. Good luck. Go get them.